Hello beautiful being, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jacqui Lane, aka Priestess Peaches. I'm the creatrix of YourPeachyLife.com and I empower women to transform their relationship with their men, their sex life and their money. And in this video I'm going to be sharing with you 6 ways that you can open your yoni to sex. The first way that you can start to open your yoni to sex is to connect with your yoni with your awareness. You can do this on a daily basis and I highly recommend you do so. This is just tuning in with your awareness, tuning into your physical yoni, your vulva, your clitoris, your perineum, your anus, your vagina, your womb space, your ovaries. Sorry about that. So this is about connecting in with the your physical body, your physical yoni, your vulva, your clitoris, your perineum, your anus, your vagina, your womb space, your ovaries, your hip space, those 2 lower chakras, the sacral chakra and the root chakra, tuning in just with your awareness as often as you remember, just checking in with her, checking in with your yoni, speaking to her, connecting with your awareness, with your consciousness, and having an awareness of your genitals. This starts to activate the sexual energy. This starts to create a connection between you and your yoni. So often we go about our day completely disconnected from our sexual selves and from our sexual centers. So it's really important to come back home to that space and have this as a regular thing, just whenever you remember. And you can have actual practices for this, which involve really tuning in and like meditations, visualizations, healing practices. So awareness without touch is the first key to opening yourself to sex. So the next keys, I'm going to say keys now. The next key is awareness with touch. And so these can be tools and practices such as de-armoring and pelvic mapping. So these are practices where you actually, they're non-sexual, non-pleasurable practices. Not saying you won't feel any pleasure, because you might, but the agenda isn't for pleasure, the agenda isn't for orgasm, the agenda isn't for sexual gratification. The intention is for presence and awareness and healing and connection. So that's the intention for these practices. And so de-armoring is where you basically go around your yoni and you press into different points like a clock all around your yoni, and you move into points of tension or tenderness and you press a little bit harder. You can sound, you can breathe through it, and it's just about creating that presence, connection and awareness. You can even journal about what you experience, and you can just connect and just allow what is to surface. You may have emotional releases, you may have physical releases, you may have a spontaneous orgasm, you may have a trauma release. Whatever's there is perfect. And pelvic mapping is similar in a way, but this is where you're just feeling the different quadrants within your pelvic bowl and just noticing what's there. And I give my clients a practice where they can actually journal about what it is they're feeling. You can journal about what you're feeling emotionally, physically, like literally what textures there are, what sensations you're experiencing, what emotions are coming up for you. Then you can tune into the perspective of your pelvic bowl and just tune into how your pelvic bowl is feeling, so that you have the different perspectives. And you can tune into your fingers as well and how it feels to your fingers, so you're having biofeedback. These create awareness and connection with touch, and these are deeply transformative healing practices that I recommend you implement in your life on at least a monthly basis. And one other way that you can connect with touch is yoni massage. And again, this is non-sexual. This is just massaging as if you have worked another part of your body, a muscle in your back, for instance. You've been doing weights or whatever and you have tension in your back, you would go and get a massage. It's the same within your yoni. If there's trauma or stress or depression or anxiety or things coming up in your life that's causing the constriction. It can even be overstimulation or friction-based sex that can cause this constriction of the tissues, tightening, not in a good way, that causes tension within your yoni. And so yoni massage can really be a way to start releasing that tension and opening your yoni for sex. Key number 3, I kind of just mentioned it a little bit, and this is about sounding. And so often we suppress our sound connected with our genitals. We suppress our true authentic self-expression. So I call it Yoni Sounding, and you can either connect with touch or without touch, and you can express the sound of that area of your body and allow your throat chakra to connect with your root and your sacral chakra, and allow that energy to come up and express. When you start self-expressing with yourself and allowing what is, and allowing yourself to express that with yourself, you open up your self-expression with your partner. You open up, you let go of inhibitions, and you begin to become more expressive sexually with yourself and with your partner. And this actually activates the flow of sexual energy and starts to open you up more sexually, and your capacity for pleasure will expand because it enhances the sexual energy flow throughout your entire body, because you're bringing up that energy and you're expressing yourself. So number 4 is Shakti sexual energy flow. So Shiva is the masculine, Shakti is the feminine. There's actually 14 keys that I teach to Shakti sexual energy flow in my Reawaken Your Yoni course, and this way of honoring yourself sexually and honoring Shakti sexual energy is going to really start to enhance your sensuality, your sensual experience of the world. Is going to activate you. It's going to cause you to want sex. It's going to cause you to open sexually with yourself and your partner when your body is being fully honored, and your way of expressing energy flow is being fully honored by yourself and your partner. Is going to cause you to flourish and bloom sexually. So just a tip, one little tip within this key for Shakti sexual energy flow is to be inclusive of the entire body and to slow right down. Those are the 2 top pieces to Shakti sexual energy flow, but there's so much more to it. And like I said, these are things that I teach with my one-to-one clients or in my Reawaken Your Yoni course if you're interested. Number 5 is being your own source of turn-on, turning yourself on first. This relates to the constant simmer of pleasure in your life. This relates to prioritizing your pleasure. This relates to you being self-sourcing and self-responsible for your own pleasure. So just feel into what that would look like for you. Imagine if you created a life that was full of your enjoyment and pleasure and bliss. What things turn you on? Like maybe you need to explore yourself in this way, sensually, sexually. It doesn't have to necessarily all be sexually, but your own enjoyment as well. If you can explore yourself in this way first, you can then bring that into the relationship and share from a full plate of joy and pleasure and expansion with your partner. So you're not coming with a beggar's bowl. This is something Saida Desolé speaks about, the beggar's bowl relationship versus the gourmet relationship. And the beggar's bowl is where you're coming with an empty bowl and you're expecting him to fill it for you. You're waiting on him. You're giving your power away. And you are kind of coming into a wounded feminine entitled space here, or a wounded masculine dictating space. You're like, fill my bowl for me, when actually you have the power and capacity to fill your own bowl, to come with a full plate for sharing. And this is really, really important for you to open sexually, to open to sex, is to turn yourself on and be your own source of pleasure. And yeah, number 6 is, I just mentioned about the constant simmer of pleasure in your life, and this really relates to being the self-source. So number 6 is about really devoting yourself to a constant simmer of pleasure, because this can be just daily things that you gift yourself, nourishment for yourself, joy, relaxation, self-love, self-care, and self-pleasure. These are things that you really need to prioritize if you want to open sexually, if you want to experience your fullest potential with yourself or with your man. You really need to prioritize your pleasure on a consistent, regular basis. And when I say pleasure, I don't just mean sexual, I mean your enjoyment in life, the things that you like to do, the things that you like to experience, and relaxation. There needs to be the balance of doing things and relaxation. There needs to be the balance of socializing and me time. It's really important to have the balanced approach to the constant simmer. Otherwise it can feel like a to-do rather than a pleasure and a joy. And so when you actually honor the constant simmer of pleasure in your life, you begin to open yourself sensually. And when you open yourself sensually and expand your sensuality, your sensual experience of the world, this starts to expand your capacity for pleasure, your receptivity of pleasure, the pleasure pathways within you. This starts to really open you sexually. So it starts with your sensuality first. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you received some benefit from this video today. Let me know in the comments if you did or if you have any questions, and give this video a thumbs up if you want more videos like this. I'm going to leave some links in the description box for my Reawaken Your Yoni online course and how you can connect with me if you want to go deeper and work with me one-to-one. I hope you're having an amazing day, and remember to keep it juicy. Bye.